want to talk about people when we're having a conversation. Like people can talk about y'all, but we're adults. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying that shit. I love pussy. That's why I'm talking about it. But this is
The
like
woman, I guarantee you, if a woman came up on here, all she will do is scream and cry because
that's
that's
what
what
happened
she
earlier. That's what happened earlier.
yeah.
Question the Ponder came up here, started screaming, crying, like proved my point, saying she was using the patriarchy. Like, so it's like can't no girl beat up no man. That's what feminism like. Don't let Rick hype y'all up on some shit. Can't no woman beat up no man. Like, except for in periods. But I'm saying just don't. We all gotta stop pushing that agenda because that's gotten too many women hurt.
Well,
I
it's
kind of I hear
interesting because
myself echoing. I hear myself echoing.
oh, that's my bad. Hold on one second.
But
Okay,
no,
how
real
about now?
shit though, Rick. Like, we gotta start pushing that agenda. Like women can just be. I get it. It's a joke, but we gotta stop attacking the panelists. Like, I don't care about. Dude, I get women in real life. I'm kissing a woman. I'm really just got done having sex in my picture. Like, I don't like women. I don't put that type of. I don't put women on a pedestal. Like, I don't talk to women about. Or I don't take what women say serious about what men have to do in relationships. They're not a man. That's why I don't. Therefore, I don't take it serious.
Well, a lot of women will say much worse things than what we're saying privately. It's just they won't say it publicly because other women will fuck with them and destroy them for saying it. So, I mean,
Yeah, I don't put this. I don't care if women ever come on my panel again. I don't care. Like, y'all put this fake value on y'all. I don't care what women have to say or about. Like, I promise you, I've said that many times. What a woman says goes in one ear out the other. I'm the man. This is my world.
well, the hard part of it is that if you don't lay down boundaries, they won't ever respect you. So it's better to be, offensive and say the truth of what you feel rather than try to be like, the worst thing you can do is be like, oh, you know what? I need to stop offending you or do whatever. Like, that's the worst thing you can do to a woman because a woman will never respect you if you say that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a time and a place for it, but at the same time, like, you gotta be you gotta be real because women hate fakeness more than anything, except for when they already know they already got what's going on. You know what I mean? So, it- meaning like if they already got you locked down, and you're
You know
telling
this
them like,
person in the back, Zephyr R.
yeah, yeah, I invited them because it's a woman, and I knew she would actually like be willing to come on panel and listen to what we're
Okay,
saying.
that's
So,
what's up. Why do you like? You see what they're saying? Like, I don't want women to follow me. I'm literally a Leo. Like, I'm a natural born leader. Like,
I'm a Leo too. Nice to meet you.
yeah, nice meeting you too. Yeah, y'all kind of late on the topic. The women are already triggered. Like me and you probably know NPC. We were playing these clips of guys, different ethnicities, different races and nationalities, saying that they're pretty much like they're ready to put their hands on women, like that they want to go back to their great granddad and ways of living, and like giving women hard resets or just like you know what I'm saying?
Let's see
I'm
how
gonna say
that turns
something.
out.
Indeed, huh?
I said, let's see how that turns out.
Well, yeah, but I'm
As a
saying like
as a woman who like has been in a fist fight with a man, and I definitely lost. I think that might be a good idea, but I'm not sure.
So
nah,
here's what I want to say.
but hold on, Georgia. Um, I don't advocate for hitting women. Like I don't believe like
Me
you should
neither,
break.
really. But yeah,
But I feel like women have lost the plot, thinking that they're stronger than men, and when they're just going to call another man to handle that man.
yeah, that's a
That's
sim.
why.
That's a
And that's
simp right
why,
there. That doing that, that's gonna jump in like that. I don't want men to defend me. As a matter of fact, they do it like without me even asking. It's like so upsetting because like I could like totally like calm everybody down if they wouldn't get so fired up. But like had guys jump in between in front of me, like trying to defend me and just make everything worse. So it's not just women.
that listen, it's like Ariella, you're not even behind your real profile. I don't want like what are you talking about follow me? Like you're just making no sense. That makes no sense.
Okay,
Like
if you say so. Everybody else seems to
what?
understand me just fine.
Can I comment now?
This your
I'll say
people
this.
too? Like you trying to this like, who is this? Appalachian?
The strongest nigga should have
He's
a harem
a friend of all of
defenseless
ours. I
women.
invited him.
See, this is the way
You
it
invited
was
your whole family,
in
goddamn.
ancient traditional
You
society.
invited
Women need to learn their place. See, in ancient traditional societies, many of them, there was the strongest nigga, and he was like the ruler, and he had a harem full of women. So the problem is when we take women seriously, when we take their opinions seriously, their views seriously, because when you think about it, women are like pitiful children, so they need to be trained. So the strongest nigga needs
Like
to have
guys in their
most,
stick.
most women, most women in the harem.
Is that
Hold on,
is that why I usually stay with two bitches in my bed?
Why
It
were
should
you
be two.
sick? You need
It
somebody to
should
take
be
care of
100.
you?
It should be 1,000. Why
Hey,
is
hold on,
two
hold on, y'all.
sufficient?
Hold
It
on.
should be 1,000.
Hey, hold on,
Two is not
Cruiser.
sufficient.
Hey, hold on.
I mean, like, listen, if I had enough money, bro, it'd be like
Bro, I
20.
said
But
hold
like, I
on.
don't.
Can you
I
hold
got the
on while I'm
cash.
trying to talk?
What do you
Please?
want, man?
Huh?
What you want, man?
You said what do I want?
Yeah, what?
Nigga, I'm trying to host the show. Nigga, be respectful. Respect the panel.
I'm
Tell me
respect
what
the
I
panel.
want. What do you want? Don't start.
Listen, y'all don't get all based on with me, but I don't get all brolic and shit. Unnecessary.
No, your tone is unnecessary.
Yo, don't. Yeah, it's unnecessary to be all brolic with me. Now, I mean, I was over here hollering at Avian, right? Because
Shut the fuck up. I got you. This your friend. Like, tell him he need to have some etiquette. Like, one more time. Next time you got crazy, I'm gonna drop his ass. How about that? Do you know where you're at? Nigga, join the conversation, nigga. Like, you got some fucking etiquette, nigga.
No, I just dropped him
this
in here.
is?
He didn't know what's going on. He doesn't know. I just
Yeah, well, he
invited him
better
because I
learn
know he
quick
would
because
be interested.
Like, he better learn quick. I'll teach him.
all work. Listen.
So back to the conversation. So no, I wasn't giving her pushback. I was trying to have a conversation about her thoughts on just like in general, like and just like the stuff that's going viral about men.
I don't advocate anything that I'm not aware of yet, and I don't advocate much of what I'm aware of.
Yeah. So do you think feminism has made women feel like they're physically superior to men when they're just?
I think feminism is a word that has been used in a lot of untoward ways, but I don't know.
Yo.
I'm not a feminist, so I wouldn't call myself one anyway. As a woman,
feminism is corporatism, bro. That's all it is. It's literally like ways to expand the workforce to like drop the labor rate of like the entire population. That's all feminism is.
Well, it's more than that. It's
no, that's it. No, that's it. That's all it is.
Because it's a mentality.
Yeah,
it's become more than that. Actually, he's right.
It's not like I swear all it is.
That's like wave 2 or 3.
No. Like that's the entire. That's like the whole civil rights thing. It was literally just based on expanding the corporate footprint.
Votes and they did the fucking workforce. Then it became a mentality. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a corporate mentality. Yeah, like all these things are corporate. Like every time they want you to accept something, it's a corporation.
There were waves of feminism. You're talking about one wave of it. There's more waves of it. There was them getting their voting rights. There was them getting in the workforce. There was them fucking getting men out the house. Then it was the end of. Come on, bro. Now what the fuck you talking about?
Why was this?
You're saying all it is just the workforce, like in corporatism, and we're agreeing with
you.
But I'm telling you, there's waves.
That's why it goes men, white men first, then black men, then women.
What?
I don't know
That's
what
why it
you
always.
just said,
That's
but
why. That's why it always goes that way. It goes white men first, then black men, then women.
No, like listen, it's white men and then white women, right? And then like
I
black
don't
women
agree
and
with
then
none of
black men.
that. But I don't even agree with the way
Like
No,
you said that.
that's not how the
that's the
presidency
structure.
went. Let's
The
see.
presidents are
What else can we
Russian
find
models.
that goes along with that?
I don't
That's
believe in none of that
racist
shit.
to us black men. That's racist to us black men.
Yeah, the presidency is a different animal altogether. That's like that's a whole different thing. That's politics and like cultural nonsense, right? But like the whole purpose of feminism and like civil rights and like transgender rights and gay rights, all these things, like it's like just to expand like the working population, right? So that you
It's
can
all
continue to
population
have more
control. That's
office
all
workers.
that part is, but it's different than that.
Yeah, and it's the same reason why.
With this mentality, they're doing it on their own.
No, like it was the same reason why like you have to go to school. Like in the school curriculum has to be the same everywhere. That way they can swap you out in any part of the country they want to. They want to destroy like dialects, regions, cultures, heritages, food, like religions, all the things that come with it. That way there's no friction for wherever you go. Right? That's the whole purpose of liberalism, right? Is to divorce you from like your basic structure as a human being.
Can I ask the Appalachian Guerrilla a question? So women
What?
cannot really create a culture because they're dumb. They're like dumb little children. It's only men that can create high culture. Do you agree with me, the Appalachian Guerrilla?
I don't
Like,
think men create culture. I think
He said
literally.
women. He said women.
Yeah, I don't think men or women create culture. I think geography creates culture.
oh, well, yeah, that's a more intellectual position. I see your point.
I feel like he was.
You know,
trying to
yeah,
see
yeah.
who has more effect. Like
Very
who
good. Yeah,
he's
I
trying
agree
to.
with
I
that
feel like he
too.
was really trying to say like who enforces the culture more with man or man or. I feel like he was trying to say that type shit.
I mean, that depends on the economy, right? So, like, depending on where you are, it depends on like how much like the children spend with whichever parent, right? And like how you actually live your life. So, like, if you're in like the plains or whatever, you're gonna have men end up like dictating like how the culture and have the upholding of it, right? Because like kids had to go to the field and help farm and all these type of things. If you're in say like a mountainous environment where like it's I mean more like warfare and all these type of things that happen in mountainous environments, you end up having like women dictate more of the culture. And then if you're in like say like a coastal area, like where men are out fishing or like they travel or they go like to trade, you're gonna have women dictating more of the culture, right? And I mean like we're actually upholding it more only because of the fact that the men aren't around as much, right? And the kids don't go with the men, right? So that it just depends on like your geography and like your locality and like how economy works. You know what I mean? Like it's economy doesn't mean money. It just means like everything you do all day.
Yeah, but it's just like the women been triggered in the chat for about four the whole damn time really, because they don't want to be
Oh,
accountable. Why do you think women run from accountability so much? Like to the point to where dudes want to go back to how it was, and it's then going viral due to every culture and race wanting to go back to how it
What are
was
you
100,
saying is
150 years ago.
accountability? What is accountability? Accountability is like self responsibility, right? Like your consequences for your own actions, correct?
because it's
Well,
dumb for them to have
the women,
accountability.
when it comes to women and accountability, I feel like it's deeper than that because they've never been accountable.
No,
Women don't
women
take
don't.
the time.
They don't need it.
Hold
I think
on.
that's an
Hold on.
exaggeration.
Let me talk. Let me talk.
Yeah. Okay.
Women never take the time to work on themselves. First of all, they jump from dick to dick to dick to stepdaddy, like whatever. So
First
that's
of
the
all,
first
I don't
thing.
think you know all women.
Okay.
I know all women.
I mean-
I've been around a lot of women in major cities. I know all women do literally.
I have
Sounds like
five
you've been
babies,
jumping
mom.
around.
Did I-
You've
hold on,
been
Zephy,
jumped
hold on,
on a
Zephy,
few
hold on.
times, then, huh?
Did I say it was all women?
I have five babies,
Hold on,
moms, and
hold on,
4
let me answer
daughters,
your
bro.
question. Hold on. Did I say all women?
You said women generally. Yes, that would imply all women.
That's what you're implying. That's what you're assuming.
Well, I'm clarifying that, asking you for clarification.
No, you
that okay?
assumed. You made an assumption. You said
It was with
like,
a question mark at the end.
Okay. I don't. It's just like my dad told me, never assume you make an ass out yourself. Like
Hey,
Yeah,
I have
No,
a
I don't mind being an ass to you.
Zephyr,
like,
are you
I
a
don't
woman?
mind it, but it's like
You're-
Are you a
I'm
woman?
just trying to have an intellectual
Go ahead.
conversation into why
No,
Call me
you're
Modestine.
why
you're expecting a fish to not be a fish.
huh? Let me finish talking, then you can talk.
Listen, this is dumb.
All right. That guy's getting on my nerves. I'm
I
sorry
kind of
about your
think it
friend.
is too. You could go ahead and drop me down if you want to.
Okay, you can go too. So people, so you see, people are sensitive. They don't want to talk about it. I don't expect a woman to be logical. Like if she want to go, I ain't gonna hold it. You know what I'm saying? I don't hold it, but it's just bitch ass thing. You think I'll come on my other show and talk over me? I'm not gonna listen to that shit. I mean, fucked up. So I'm trying to have a conversation. Clearly, they don't want to have it. You know what I'm saying? You got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. People, I don't give people chances like that, bro.
You know, my nigga friend, you know, the ancient Chinese,
Women don't have a higher IQ. Women, their frontal lobes don't stop developing at 14 years old. We had a dumbass woman right now.
Yeah.
Hold on, Garuda. We got a dumbass woman right now. Get on here and say that she fought a man. That was the first red flag. Like, come on now. Like, that's the issue that I'm talking about. Why do y'all think y'all can fucking just hit men? So, yeah, people ain't bringing nothing. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. These people are trolls and shit, bro. I'm not finna. They ain't trying to have no conversation.
Have you ever heard of the word virile? VIRILE. It means a man who is highly full of testosterone and based. You know, and you see, woman should be underneath the man who is the strongest. And you know, gorillas are very peaceful creatures, and they have harems. You know, and you know, in ancient cultures, like ancient China, Persia, I think some other culture, the royals, they had like harems of concubines. You know, and maybe we should go back to that. We should go back to one man having huge concubines of women. You know, maybe this will make women happier. You know, don't you agree with me, my nigga?
You stop saying my nigga. You don't even sound black, but we're not gonna go there.
I am black. Are you racist? You're racist. You're saying
I'll be
I'm not
racist,
black.
but stop saying that to me.
I am black. Don't tell me I'm not
say
black.
it one more time. I'm gonna drop you. You know, I'm gonna make you pay to come back.
I am black. You don't tell me what I am. You're racist. You're racist.
You want to pay to come back?
You're racist. Today I'm black. I am black today.
Yeah, you're today your ass in the back. How about that? So yeah, the panel is I mean, the panel's not ruined. People, if they gonna have a conversation, have a conversation. Like tell Harold Kumar to go to White Castle. That nigga ain't black. He is black. It's about skin, but that nigga ain't melanated like us. So, I mean, I respect a lot of people's opinion, but it's like women gotta admit it. Y'all are just chaos beings. Zephy, if you're still, I don't know if she probably in purgatory. I don't know, like she seemed to be upset. She told me to drop her. I don't know, like I don't
Oh
know.
no, I'm still here. I'm still here. I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to argue, but
I'm trying to have a conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
So why do you think men are more about peace and tranquility, and women are chaos beings?
I don't think either of those things. I don't know why you'd assume that I do.
No, that's what I think. Why do you think women? Those are the dynamics between men and women.
I don't know. I don't think that's the way it is, actually. But
you don't think women?
Maybe it is for you. Maybe it is for you, but it's not that way for me.
So you don't think women are chaotic?
I think that they're just as chaotic as men, if not sometimes more. We're maybe a little bit more emotionally expressive. We don't blow up in the same way, for sure. We blow up in different ways.
Men are direct, women are indirect. So,
no, women are very direct whenever it comes down to it. I think if men are so direct, then why is it that I can't get my man to ask me for what he wants?
You know what? I just figured out something. I think I know more about. I didn't have so many women. I know more about women than the average woman. Goddamn it.
Oh, I don't think so. No. Okay.
Oh, I know.
I don't know if men know themselves at all sometimes.
I know myself. Like that's why I don't like. That's what I'm saying. Can I ask you this? Why, when a woman changes the tire, she be like, "Oh, I change the tire like a man." But let's say a man, if he watches the kids all day, he don't be like, "Damn, I just watch the kids like a girl. When's my period coming?" Why do you think that's the case?
I don't
You
know.
know,
I think Neurojack would be better at answering that question than I would. I changed a tire while I was pregnant. My dad watched me do it, so I don't know. I don't know what your question. I don't know how to answer that.
I think it's penis envy. I think like just like the woman that was on here earlier before you.
So if I want a
Uh,
penis, I could buy one. It's
See,
okay.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like and she was doing like basic like feminism talking points like but that I've already heard before. But I feel like women really do envy. They envy men for having to give
Why would
birth.
I want all my junk on the outside where it's not safe, where somebody could just kick me in the nuts and I would be crying? I don't get that. Sorry. No, thank you.
I don't know.
I'm not jealous of your penis. Sorry. I
I mean,
do I do enjoy a good penis, like any other woman that happens to like them, at least. Not all of them do.
I don't know. Okay, let me ask you this: why do you think men always like when they protect women? You said you have men protect you just even out of nowhere. Like, why do you think men always say, "Well, oh, you come from a woman," like blah blah, blah, my mother, sisters, aunties, nieces, whatever. But you never hear a woman say, "Oh, I love my dad. I come from my dad's ball sack." Like, I love my brothers, uncles, nephews, whatever. Why do you think
I
women
think
never
it's
say that?
directly linked to how much effort it took. Who bared the most effort? That's why. Because in the like as the host of the child, like in that situation, I definitely think that women bear more of the burden of until the child is born, at least.
But why do you think? Do you feel? Why do you think they? Because I've heard ponder like what she said earlier. I've heard a woman say that before. Like, do you think women envy men because of
I don't know
childhood?
why is it that tall people don't ever get short people to get things down off the lower shelves? You know, why is it always the short people asking the tall people to get stuff off the tall shelves? You
I
know,
actually did that a couple weeks ago at the grocery store.
that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. You know, I
I
think
told the
people
short
should do
person,
that more often because I think it should be like, I'm a matcher. I mean, there are like 3 types of people as far as I can tell in the world, and there are takers, givers, and matchers. And I think the matcher's job is to match to it's reciprocal. You know that. You know, it's back and forth. Everybody carries a little bit, and everybody's load is lighter.
yeah, I mean that's how it's supposed to be, but it's not.
It's not that way now, but this will pass. Everybody's getting all freaked out thinking it's going to stay like this, but it never does. Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better, though.
That's all I've been saying. Like, because like they say, history always repeats itself. It's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah,
So
it's always recycled a little bit differently, though.
true.
Never the same twice, but it is nothing new under the sun still.
Yeah, Chad, I love how triggered y'all been all night. Y'all really inspired me. Like,
Now you're telling the truth.
what?
That you like when they're triggered.
Oh, I love it. This shit fuels me.
Why? That seems pretty petty to
Oh, I'm
me.
petty as fuck.
Okay, well, there you go. At least you're honest.
I think like engagement like that is healthy engagement. Like confrontation is healthy engagement.
I don't think anybody being upset is good or healthy, but that's just me, I guess. It's your channel, so you can
No,
disagree.
it's sometimes like I'm just like sometimes you gotta have different topics. You know what I'm saying? Like every's like it's just I'm under the impression that the shoe fits wear it. That's a form of accountability. That's why all the stuff I talk about is stuff that I've already worked through. My emotional, like you know what I'm saying, digressions and
So
gotten
I
over
say
it.
I have way too many shoes for somebody who doesn't like to wear shoes.
Me too. She don't even wear it, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
I wear them if I
I
have
just,
to.
like people don't understand. Like I like when they talk about me, like all that weird docs. I don't care. Like when I and Pierce them ass post my, I don't care. Like post my address. I don't care. Shit, it's all the internet. It's
Yeah,
on
I
there.
dox myself all the time too. As a matter of fact, if anybody wants to
It
go to
don't
my
bother me.
YouTube
Like
channel,
come. You know what
you
I'm
can
saying?
find
Like
my mailing address. Mail me mail even.
I don't believe in the manosphere because
I
I
don't
wouldn't
believe in
talk.
it either.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of shit. This where at least I admit it. I would not talk to a women like this in real. This is the internet. I'm not coming. I'm not coming out here fucking. And you think I would say this to a woman in real life? Like you gotta do this and
Why
that.
not?
My energy is gonna give that off. And shout out to women because they can read. Like that's the stuff that makes
I can
women
read
look.
you from afar, dude. It doesn't matter if we're in the same room or not. You don't know me.
But no, like women, they can see like what like the type of men are like in person type shit. Like
Oh no, I'm a very bad judge of character. In the past, at least, I was very bad judge of character. Why do you think I got into boxing matches with my guys? I don't do that anymore, by the way.
oh, that's
'Cause
why
I can,
I was roasting you earlier. I was like the first red flag she told me she got out here
yeah,
and fought a guy.
yeah. Well, and that was my way of letting you know that I knew better.
Yeah, I can tell. And I don't condone women violence, and I don't believe in women's submission to every man because there's way too many weak men. The whole topic is why are men every race and ethnicity getting more hyper aggressive towards women? As far as to the point now, we're seeing on a higher scale that I talk about getting physical now.
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
want
I
to hit you
haven't
out
seen
here.
that. I haven't seen that. I
Oh,
don't
it's
know.
pretty viral because I've been on here like doing lives and shit. So
I think it was just as violent before. It's just it wasn't as out in the open. It wasn't discussed. It was kept quiet.
uh, that's where I gotta disagree. Like you haven't seen it yet, but it's just like, I think it's different. I think what's going on now is a product of women being more masculine, women not respecting men, and then you know
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
saying.
I don't do blame. I think I blame myself for a lot. Uh all my mistakes basically, but that's about it. And then the rest of the time I blame. I say it's blame's fault.
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, that shit sounds incredible, but I don't know your personal situation. I don't judge people. You know what I'm saying. I'm just making a determination of how.
We all judge people, but you shouldn't judge them personally, just their behaviors, I think.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing with women. I'm judging their behaviors on the grand scale and just men's reaction to it.
Yeah. I think you got to make that clear every time you do it though. Like that that's what you're doing because people take it personally whenever they take it personally.
Oh,
And
I
and
made it
that's their
clear.
own fault. It's their own fault, I guess, at that point,
I
right?
made it clear enough for you to still be here.
Yeah. Well, that isn't why I'm still here. It wasn't anything that you did that made me still here. I'm just here because for one, Neurojack invited me, and I find it very interesting conversation so far.
Yeah, that's what we do over here. We have interesting conversations and we try to elaborate on things and try to get deeper in the topic and just you know what I'm saying.
Do you know True Stories? True Life Stories? I like that guy too. And I know you know NPC, so
Yeah, that's my dog. Yeah, it's good people.
yeah, I like him too. He's my Scorpio brother.
I thought you were a Leo.
I'm a Leo. Yeah, he's my Scorpio brother though. NPC's a Scorpio. We were born the same year.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, I think it is a great topic, but yeah, I mean, I get it. You are right. Like, I don't understand this question. Like, I'm not judging you. Like, why do y'all saying like, see how triggered they get? I'm not judging nobody by the race. I don't think anybody should put their hands on nobody, but at the same time, women seem to like. It seems like their retaliation towards men is verbal abuse first, and I feel like if women get
Well,
away,
yeah, words only hurt you if you let them. So that
yeah,
seems
but
reasonable.
that's true. That's true. But for two, like you don't poke the bear, and then as men, men we have this understanding of hierarchy that we don't disrespect men that are more dominant than us. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that he can fucking possibly fucking kill us with our bare hands. Like that's how men. That's
Yeah.
how men.
Well,
That's how
I'm
men
armed.
operate.
I'm armed, so I think maybe that's what the factor was that changed is that now I have a weapon. So
But no, you feel what I'm saying? Though? Like
anybody could do that nowadays. You want to be polite and not want to set anybody off because anybody could just go off.
I'm saying, like if there's no like in general, like if there was no weapons or accessories, like that's how I'm telling you how men operate. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
well,
can't
you
change
got to
it.
get
Like
with it because it's not like that anymore. Then
no, it is like that.
no, but it's not like how it used to be. Now it's.
What do you mean by that? Can you elaborate?
I mean, now anybody go off and hurt anybody because anybody could be armed.
I mean, it's been like that for hundreds of years. I'm saying
Mhm.
when no weapons involved, the way men operate is the way I just said. Like we go off of fucking underlying of something called respect that we don't disrespect men that are greater than us because or that can
I think if you
physically.
treated women the same way, it might get
I didn't even
better.
get to finish. Yeah.
Okay, well, sorry, I apologize then.
No,
What
you're
were you
good. I'm
saying?
saying like
Finish your statement then.
yeah, we don't we go off the underlying respect that we don't disrespect men that are greater than us because they could destroy us with their bare hands. Like me being 6 foot 180, I could get destroyed by some dude fucking way bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna kiss his ass. I'm gonna respect him. I could destroy a lot of people, whether they bigger or smaller than me. A guy smaller than me can just. That's what a man can do. That's the point. That's why we don't talk to. That's the phenomenon, and we're getting deeper right now. You know what I'm saying? So when
Mhm.
women want to talk to men like that, that's where the confusion comes in. Like with men because of the way that men operate. Like I just told you. You see what I'm saying? Now
Yeah,
make a little
I
sense.
can understand what you're saying for sure. But I don't think it's really valid to how the world is now. I mean, it might work if you're alone with some men, I guess, but and some men that you know, because I mean, how do you know if they're greater than you unless you know them? Just by their looks? That's only a very narrow thing to judge.
Well, that's why I said bigger and smaller. Like I'm just
Yeah.
talking about the code of respect that men go off of, like that we don't overstep that boundary for like on a man to man interaction. If
Until
we
you
do
get to
that,
know each other. Yeah.
that's
Is
where
that-
the fight. Or even if we, that's why men they might a lot of men like I met a lot of my best friends. We fought first, like that's why men they fight first and then we respect each other because we have to get the respect boundaries right. So you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Just
The
to
way I
stop.
look at respect is it's given automatically. And if somebody loses it, then they have to earn it back. If they can keep it, it has to be maintained. And it
Yeah, I
works
mean
the same way for me.
that's a yeah, it's supposed to be called giving somebody grace. Yeah.
Yep. There's not a lot of grace in the world today, unfortunately, but there will be later. I'm hoping. Might be
Yeah,
naive to think so,
that's the only
but
point I've been trying to make about like the way shit has turned out. Like,
well, it's not finished yet. It's not done. Just
and
be
just like
patient.
I feel like that's the best point I made. Like about how women don't understand how men really operate. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Like how I just told you about me fighting a lot of my best friends, like because we had to get the underlying respect going on to where we didn't disrespect anymore. So the
Can I tell it?
physicality.
Can I tell you a
Hold on,
story?
hold on, let me finish. So that's where
Okay.
the physical. I want you to answer this too before
Okay.
you tell your story.
Okay.
Because it's in like this, and instead of telling the story, I want to stay on topic, please. We can tell the
Okay.
story later, but
It is on
this
topic,
this
but
is
okay.
I
Go ahead.
yeah, I'm sure, but this is a fire point right now I'm trying to make. So men go off that underlying respect. So like, if the respect boundaries are fucked up, that's why men fight and be the best of friends. Be to feel like the physicality gets involved. You know what I'm saying? And when women try to talk like men, act like men, hit like men get confused because and women don't understand that men go off the code of respect, which is real love. You know what I'm saying? For yourself and other people, if you're gonna respect that boundary, you know what I'm saying? So it's a cause. That's why I not blame. I want women to understand that, like, whenever you're disrespecting a man on any level, his thought process, you can trigger something. Like, what if he gets triggered? What if he has PTSD from whatever, and he just snaps off on you? Like, what if he's fucking don't respect women at all, and he just, you know what I'm saying? He wants to really fucking hurt you. Like, you can't really fucking be mad at it whenever fucking you're fucking engaging in the fight type shit.
That's leaked out over the 100 years or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's interesting too, because he's also changed his the architectural firm that he's using. God, I forget their name.
One of them?
Sure.
Would one of them? Oh my gosh, what's his name? Oh shit.
He wasn't a SEAL, either one of them.
No, his name is escaping me all of a sudden.
All right.
There's one I used to follow. Okay, so do you take their word for it?
No, that's why I listened to several of them.
Well, bravo for that.
I was an operations specialist in the first Gulf War, so this was my job.
Okay, cool.
And so the thing, thank you, as well. No, I mean, you hear a voice, it's an opinion. You hear a lot of voices, you have a mob. There are things that you can test against it. I just hadn't. I was only against the assertion that things aren't going as bad as they thought. And then I asked, have you heard of this? I'm not asserting that things are going poorly, but 120,000 seems like an awful lot out of the IDF. And I assume they would be closer to Beirut.
I think there's I think there's a lot of propaganda out there. And listen. Sure. Especially when it comes to military. All right. So if there's one thing that I'm a firm believer in, that there's FBI, Kash Patel the other day, I'm sorry, it was Bongino confirmed the other day that there was 2 different FBIs. You got your FBI that are freedom loving, patriotic. They went in there with intentions to do the right thing. And then you got your deep entrenched in your fortified and entrenched. Your bad actors, if you will, that are either self-serving or they're serving some other agenda, right? You got the Comey book, which was titled The Higher Loyalty, which I find interesting. You know, who is that higher loyalty? Read that book. Are you familiar with Sidney Powell? I read her book.
It sounds familiar, but vague to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I was once a registered Democrat as well. I don't like to associate with any of that stuff. Right, left, binary paradigm, right? They only give you 2 options. Nah, I'm not messing around with that. I'm going to be me, pro-American, period. You know what I mean? There's going to be corruption on all sides. Now, why I become a Trump supporter is because he strikes me as the bull in the china shop that is disrupting what I definitely see as a globalist agenda to destabilize America from within, using infiltration because they don't want to. Good luck, boots on the ground. China said it. There's a gun behind every blade of grass. Good luck with that. They're not going to do that, right? So what would be the best way to destabilize America from within? Marxism is a great method of doing it, right? Let's start convincing boys that they can be girls, girls can be boys, right? Let's start emasculating men. That's just one of many, right? Let's stop poisoning the food. Spread propaganda, all sorts of propaganda.
Sure.
Let's destroy Americans' trust and faith in government. Which what I'm seeing today is Trump bringing back trust and faith in government. How is he doing this? Through transparency. I can see how a lot of people would say, Trump bringing transparency, you out of your mind? I've heard it. Trust me. But if you or anybody who's done any objective research, say prior to 2 years ago, the previous term, good luck on finding, open source information. Okay. Let's take Epstein, for instance. Name me one other president or any other administration that has ever led to the capture of and the arrest of Epstein and or Ghislaine Maxwell, or the whole network that they were involved with. Nobody.
Okay. May I pause you?
Yeah.
I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I think, the government can kiss my ass. And I earned that right. And, my ninth grandfather fought in the revolution. So anybody can kiss my ass if they don't like that. We fought all the goddamn wars. So my opinion has been earned.
Yeah.
Now, secondarily, I don't disagree with leftist agenda with taking down the United States. I might even agree with something you didn't say, or I didn't hear you say, which was that the globalist agenda cannot proceed unless the United States is taken out, because individually the United States has the resources to sustain a lot of shit for a lot of time. Hold on, we're saving a Goslin. Yes.
I have to step in for 1 second, Neil, and I have to say, I would never see where the United States could be overtaken in this day and age. Now, maybe 100 years ago, it might be possible, but it has been proven time and time again that you fuck around and find out the United States is going to kick your ass.
Well, I mean, I think all of these wars, proxy proxy of a proxy war and everything, nobody is really as big and bad as we thought. Okay, I'm on here. Yeah, okay. And then, so nobody's as big as bad or whatever they thought until you get to nuclear weapons. Then the game has certainly changed. So are certain people willing to do that? I would not find it out of reason that different groups, isolated and cornered, would feel that strategy as their own. So when you're talking, Sean, about, okay, they want to take down the U.S., I don't even really have a disagreement with you. And I've been a little bit more, I don't know if coy is the word, but I see the division. There are people who have intentionally added a lot of division and divisiveness in our country. And some of them read the Anarchist Handbook, and some of them followed different people. And so when you look at these things, it's hard to see where they're not true.
All right. So are you familiar with the Democratic Socialists of America?
Yes.
And are you familiar with the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, the LCCHR?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so which under it has, and please don't ever just blindly take any word I'm saying. I try my best not to state my opinions as fact, but under the LCCHR has an umbrella of over 240 plus NGOs, one of which is the SPLC, which we just saw that indictment, another ACLU, ADL, Brookings, etc. All of these NGOs, what I'm finding, have been funding racial race relations, race baiting.
Yeah,
essentially,
racial
right?
tensions, sure.
Right. So I think there's contributors, but I think that's outside funding. Now look at an individual like Neville Roy Singham, right? Who is
Not
a
familiar with
I would encourage you to look him up. He is behind the Tide Center. That Tide Center is also what's funding, propping up, and I just talked about this on the show, my show. It's propping up another NGO called World Without Exploitation. Who is World Without Exploitation? They have all the so-called victims that were standing behind Pam Bondi at that hearing. The
Right.
Epstein, so-called Epstein. I hate saying that because what if they were real victims? But the fact that what I'm discovering that they're not real victims and that they were actually contributing to any trafficking, if not doing it themselves, they're being propped up by the Tide Center. They're being funded by the Tide Center, which is Neville Roy Singham, who's like another George Soros type, right? So
Okay.
these are foreign components. This is the what I see as the globalists attempts to destabilize America by Tide Center is what funded the No Kings protests as well. So what the hell does Tide Center and No Kings protests have to do with Epstein? You know what I'm saying? Like this is all much bigger, right?
Okay, so may I ask you a question?
Please.
So if Trump's the solution, why not talk about the solution and stop, calling people cunts?
That was a great question, actually. I commend you for that. No, that's perfect. Well, look, they've been trying to kill him. I think that's at this point is pretty indisputable.
What are we at, 6 now?
Yeah, 1 today, I think, right? I've been
well,
following
let
this
me-
for a while. I think it's more than that. I think it goes back to Whidbey Island in this first administration. Go ahead, Spin.
The one today, and I got some more information, and you can, I'm sure you've looked from
No,
earlier,
not really.
right? Okay. It was a gentleman that was in a lot of people's opinion, a radical, that orange man bad politics. He needs
Right.
to get out, along with the gentleman that is still to this hour, Sean, still on top of the bridge with his black negligee.
I tried to have an ass reach out to him. I wanted to get him on the program. I wanted to talk to him.
I'll put it to you this way. I have his X handle. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
He has yet to respond to me,
Yeah.
but hey, okay. But it goes back to, we just had one today where his mission was to fire, if you will, on the White House or the vice president. And it just so happens that it was timed so well that Vice President Vance's motorcade had just went through this area.
That was wasn't that a different situation? Wasn't that the shots fired at the White House? I'm sorry, the DC monument.
Yes.
And then there was
Yes.
one at the White House as well, right? So there's
Sure.
two of them today, if I'm not mistaken. I might be misunderstood here.
No. I've heard of one, and then I heard of the second one, but I couldn't confirm it. So
Okay.
I didn't put it on the other system.
Okay, now, look,
Right.
you guys are asking me to reason. I'll just ask you, is it outside of reason that a former TV star might have played up some of these events, even false flagging events?
Actually, I was gonna kind of pick at that a little bit because I thought hello Sean, by the way, nice to meet you. My name is Toasty.
Yeah, likewise, Toasty.
I actually wanted to kind of go in on something that you had kind of touched over a little bit in regards to the Epstein files, and I think that links perfectly up with what Santa was saying. Do you the vantage point and the view thing that I had caught in there was the victims. What do you guys think the odds are of the victims themselves being actors? That I thought that
Oh,
was
yeah.
I thought that was such a interesting point of view, and I wanted to go in on that a little bit with you, Sean. Why do you think that they might be actors?
It's more than what I think. I would just encourage you to look into their individual backgrounds. One of them, Liz Stein. See if I can recollect her past. Let me start by saying this. What I found interesting, this is what I was just talking about on my show, was regarding Epstein. I'm going back to the ABC, and I literally just talking about this, but that ABC so-called hot mic moment where she was talking about, oh, we had the world's most prolific pedophile and his number one accuser, Virginia Giuffre, and we blew it, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking back at that now, and I'm like, holy crap. I think this was all propaganda. This was all a show or something, because if you actually go back through Epstein himself, his cases, there's one case, okay? One case where you could, I guess, call him a pedophile, okay? And that one case goes back to the late 90s. One charge, that's it. He did time, or so-called time. That's where he got the so-called sweetheart deal.
Camp Cupcake.
Yeah, he was, it was with a 16-year-old. He was in his early 30s, almost 30 or something, relatively young, but he was double her age. Am I saying I agree with this? Nope, not even a little bit. However, in the state of New Mexico, do you guys know what the age of consent is?
I don't know. It is in New Mexico.
It's 16. It's 16.
Okay.
Her mother is the one who made the claim against Jeffrey Epstein. That is the title, okay? That is what has stuck with him as being deemed the world's most prolific pedophile. What are you talking about? He's never been charged. Well, Sean, he was about to be charged until Epstein didn't kill himself. Well,
Right.
isn't that convenient? So my
Right.
point is the overall point all I'm saying here is what that tells me is that this Epstein thing isn't what I initially thought it was. And by saying this, I'm just showing people that, look, I don't stay married to a narrative, right?
Sure.
The part of getting red pilled, if you believe in the notion of being red pilled, and I respect if some people don't, okay? Which I do. If you do, and I was just discussing this as well, what you've done is you've realized everything's bullshit. Just as Salty Santa has realized, right? And I totally respect this. This is something that a lot of people don't think of with vets getting red pilled. They have to come to terms with they just watched a lot of their friends,
Right.
fellow vets die for reasons they shouldn't have died for. So we need to have more empathy when it comes to vets. This is why I will always respect our vets. Now, with that said, when we realize that we're with getting red pilled, the notion of it, what you've done, you realize everything's bullshit. So what you've done is you created a void, right? An emptiness. But we haven't filled the answers. We haven't filled that void with answers yet. Sometimes, a lot of times, we will subconsciously fill it with what we think are the answers. Epstein, this was a big trafficking operation that was trafficking children, satanic ritual abuse. Well, what happens when you see information that challenges that? Do you dig your heels in further, or
it's break? I'm gonna go real quick, and then I'll kick it over to you, Santa. Do you think Donald Trump is in on it?
In on what?
Do you think he's also playing the actor of the bad guy?
Nope.
Do you think there's a collaboration between him and the Democrat Party? Because he used to previously be a Democrat.
I think it's irrelevant.
Okay.
That's
Go
just
ahead,
my
Santa.
opinion.
We're gonna go to Santa, and then we'll go to Asvaroom. Go ahead, Santa.
So again, having read intelligence, I, from reliable sources, I found that the most reliable thing that I could do to find out information about the area that I was at, and this was at that time, not saying it's this time any longer, was the BBC gave me better information then I would listen to American broadcast. And this was 90. This was the first Gulf War. So I'm not even suggesting that that's still true. Now, what that teaches me is, okay, I like the red pill, blue pill, blah, blah, blah. But even if someone's hearing you on these allegations and says, that's sounds more true than false, does that inoculate, I don't want to say your side, I don't know how to say it otherwise though,
Okay.
those of your perspective from being just as full of shit? Because you're revealing new information and everything you're saying could be true. And then there's still forces that could be acting on the conservative side that are doing just as much. I mean, I was born in 70, raised by a hippie. The ELF kind of stuff sticks in my head. These early counter-revolutionary movements. And so I think sometimes life ain't so simple. Now, what is the conservative side doing to maintain its own perspectives? I'm not saying Trump's evil. I'm not trying to say he's good. Everything you're saying is true. I'm like, yeah, this is counter-insurgency. This is misinformation, disinformation with false flags. What do we do then?
Because we live in, if you want my opinion, we live in a totally different day and age. We don't live in what's going on today. I don't think, if you wanted to reference history, then you might have to go back a little bit further in the way I see it. If I were to apply it to today, like wars or the notion of false flags, which I totally believe in, by the way.
Well, I'm for any war where all the senators and congressmen's kids go first.
So, all right, what the military operations that I'm seeing going on today, I don't personally see as your typical war. What I see it as is the war to end all wars.
Some do.
What do I mean by that? And I think you have to go deeper. You can't rely on mainstream resources.
Oh, I don't even watch that. I'm well read though. I'll tell you if I don't know something.
So if you know anything about Contra networks, like the Iran Contra, which I'm sure you're relatively savvy with, Contra networks, kind of what I've come across in my research is there's an umbrella. What I visualize is an umbrella, and under this umbrella, I call the umbrella the Contra networks. And under this umbrella, what I see are cartel, almost all cartel. I see almost all terrorist networks. Hezbollah, Hamas, I call them Hamas, Muslim Brotherhood, list goes on. I put on gangs, organized gangs, mafioso. Why do I do that? So we really to believe that Mexico, which just borders, southern border, the entire southern border has been run by cartels our entire lives. It's never been run by an actual government, and we've just kind of let it be run by cartels. Meanwhile, we send over Americans to shed blood to the Middle East to fight terrorists. Well, what's the cartel network? Aren't they terrorists? Narco? I don't know about you guys. Any of you guys have any friends died from fentanyl? I work with people in recovery every week. I have more friends that have died from fentanyl or opiate overdose than anything else, more than cancer. And it affects every family, I would argue. So why hasn't anybody ever done anything about this? Have we just been conditioned to think this is normal? We are so easily programmable, easily conditioned to think things like this is just normal or natural. It's not, I don't think. But Contra networks. So how can I prove this? There's indicators, okay? When Trump first started this second term, who was the first target? Was Iran? That, what did he call it? Operation
Epic Fury.
Epic Fury.
It was. Yeah.
Or whatever, bunker buster. So
right.
And then he went from that to took out Maduro. Oh, well, if you know anything about Maduro, who was being guarded by Cuban nationals, by the way, that was his security force. Well, what's Cuba? Communist country, right? And Maduro is arguably directing a lot of the narco. Look at an island off the coast of Venezuela called Margarita Island. What were they doing on this island? What I learned was that they were training Hezbollah, Hamas, and IRGC. We're sending them there, right?
Sure.
Training facility to train terrorists to ship to our shores. And then now think about all the boats that are being
Israel and Mossad. It's not true. It's not true.
What?
From Israel and Mossad, because this war doesn't benefit anyone but Israel. That's what it just comes down to.
I mean, that's an all right opinion. I don't know if I would state that
really an opinion. Yes, who wants this war? No one, except for the small hats. Small hats want the war. It's just simple.
Again, that's a nice opinion, but
it's not an opinion. It's a fact. No, it's a fact. It's a fact. There's nothing to do about it.
That's that's subjective. How can
it's not subjective? Yeah, fully anyway. Do you know
the difference between an opinion and a fact?
Yes, I do. It's just like primary school. Everyone knows that difference.
So I'm assuming you don't know anything about contra networks.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Okay.
Someone knows. No one's a boomer anymore. Only boomers don't know. They think that they make up these stupid stories. Now look at the Twitter and other
more
stuff.
More opinions.
Yeah, it's just the small hats. It's just the small hats.
It's just the small hats?
Yeah, it's the small hats.
You don't think that's intellectually lazy or simple-minded?
No, it's not simple-minded. Yeah, it was just, Bibi wants it. And, that's what it is. How does it benefit America? Because America, it has a lot of other expenses it has to deal with.
I just went through a whole list of how it benefits America. Heroin is non-existent. Fentanyl, we're crushing the fentanyl epidemic right now. How do I know this? Because I see it every week. I talk to people every week on this. But I'm still not even going to state that as fact, because that is my opinion. If we want to be accurate, let's be accurate.
Sponsor of terrorism. It's not Iran. Iran is, Iran fought ISIS. They fought al-Nusra. They fought the White Helmets.
Are you sure they didn't provide ISIS? Are you sure they didn't provide Hezbollah?
ISIS attacked Israel, and then they apologized to Israel. I mean, you can't hide this stuff. All the boomers, they keep spreading CNN and Fox.
Well, first of all, I'm not a boomer. I'm not a boomer, but
yeah.
So
I don't know what you.
I'm just an American. I'm a freedom loving American. I try to be as objective as possible, but can we stick to current times right now? Like right now, what makes you think that Iran?
It's pronounced Iran.
I'm going to call it Iran.
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want. If you're going to call it Iran, then I'm not going to talk to.
All right, let me ask you a question. Do you think there's a difference between Do you think there's a difference?
Pronounce the name correctly. It's Iran.
Did you say small hat like me? I'm Syrian, right? Where'd he go?
He rage quit. That's what we call rage quitting.
Oh.
Sean.
What I would ask him is, does he know the difference between the Iranian military and the IRGC? Does he know who's funding the IRGC? Does he know that the current Khomeini is actually living in the city of London, known as Billionaires Row?
I knew, Sean, I knew where you were going with that, my friend, but we now have 1 versus 0.
Can we bring more? I want more of that.
Oh yes. Azbaroom, you have been waiting.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Azbaroom, please take the floor.
No. I needed to go right now. I have some
Azram,
work. Yeah. So I'll catch up next time when I come. Thank you for having me on your show, Spin City.
No problem, Azram. Thank you. It's very good to see you.
Yeah.
And many blessings to your family, sir.
Yeah.
And your
Thank you. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
welcome. Would
Yeah.
anybody like to come up here and debate Sean and I?
Yeah, I just heard Sean. I just heard Sean lay out why other than Orange Man were bad, and that's fine.
That's the point. And Sean and I pretty much align in the same category. And I needed to give Sean and dumbass a speed date for a second because I knew exactly what was going to happen, and it's funny. So, Salty Santa, this is your challenge.
Okay.
Bring a topic, and Sean and I are going to debate you.
I much prefer the respectable version, by the
Absolutely.
way. And Salty Santa, I commend you for your approach. You seem a lot more objective, which I would much prefer objectivity than subjectivity, which that guy was just subjective.
Is that your opinion, objectively or subjectively?
That's my preference.
Okay, well, your preference is denied, sir. No, joking.
A lot to
Santa,
learn.
Santa, what? What now?
I said Sean's got a lot to learn.
Oh Lord! Oh.
Thanks for putting that on me.
Yeah, well, sir, we are either going to school you or we're going to rage quit.
Well, that's
Santa,
cool.
Go ahead, sir.
Well, I think it's fair to say where I come from.
Oh, we know
Right.
where you come from. Oregon.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I live in Oregon. That's true.
I'm sorry.
And, I've taken those tests, whether you're left or right or libertarian or whatever. My little sub thing says a Taoist workman approved. A Taoist. So everybody likes to go, oh, that's like Buddhist. Not really. And so I don't have a side. I have an opinion. I think about these people who go into war, or people on both sides who think that war's a solution when they don't have the cost. I mean, it's no different than NIMBY. It's no different than fucking Greenpeace saying we shouldn't have, nuclear power, and then the fucking world is saying we've got to do carbon at the same time, so the poorest people are the only ones fucking shafted. All I'm saying is that both sides have some pretty shitty ideas.
So, do you see that? Sorry, Spin, go ahead.
Nope, Sean, you go first.
All right. So now, when I look back at this whole carbon thing, when I hear this, I'm like, holy crap! They just want to tax us breathing, right?
Yeah.
So what I see, this is again, I'm espousing what I see. So homeboy can espouse tiny hat all he wants, but listen,
I do on occasion,
if you can reconcile, or if you can acknowledge that there's an agenda out there to enslave humanity, okay, and whatever method they want to impose this communism.
Sure.
Which I think we all agree communism is essentially an economic means of enslavement, or not enslavement, but it's an economic ideology,
It's
right?
an economic ideology. Yeah.
Right. And so then Marxist, you get the social Marxism, right?
Right.
So if you can acknowledge, in my opinion, if you can acknowledge that those basic core tenets are being used on America currently, right now, to destabilize America so that they can implement their one world everything. If you can all agree that that's taking place, that there's outside forces that are trying to accomplish that, then we're already ahead of the game. And I think that's a great starting point.
My solution is radical enough it would make your eyes blush.
I doubt that, but go ahead and try.
Your
it.
solution?
Yeah.
Your solution to combating a globalist attempt to destabilize America, right?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Yep. It's really simple. We need to rebuild our communities. We need to stop taking extra community involvement. We need to eliminate the same monies that are in politics now, because the special interests are the ones who wag the dog. They start the wars. They have their special interests for the small minerals and really fucked up places where my buddies were guarding the fucking poppy seeds, among other products. I mean, leaving all the weaponry behind in Afghanistan. All these things, I mean, no one gets in trouble anymore. No one's held accountable anymore.
You sure about that?
Well, who
Yeah.
owns Silicon
And I
Valley,
think,
though?
well, and I think that it's
Hold
really.
on, hold on there, Nero. We'll get you back up there. Sean, your nemesis is back. So, Nero, give me a few minutes. Let's get through this topic, and we will get you back up there. Go ahead, Santa.
Yeah, sorry, I was derailed. I think that on the Iraqis too, but when we go back to what it was, when we're not a culture who's celebrating the victimhood of anyone. I mean, we look back at the historical things that went on. We have the courage to say Abraham Lincoln didn't give a fuck about the slaves. He wanted to keep the Union together. He said so. And it was that Congress that fucked up when the general went through 40 acres and a slave, and he took that away. There have been these things. There have been the things. 1979, the Indians first got freedom of religion. Then Clinton had to do something there. But at some point, we need to stop having this reparations talk. We need to stop having this, whatever. If you don't fucking like it, you're free to leave. And my bloodline, it being Cherokee, has every fucking right to say that. And my service and my family's service has earned the right to say that. It's only an opinion, but nobody gets to take it away because they're in the hardship Olympics or something. I'm tired of that shit. And when
but what would be your thought on, I mean, given your heritage and your Cherokee, right? What are your thoughts on the premise of stolen land? Are we on stolen land?
Don't trust Whitey. Now, I'll be honest. My particular family, part of the family was marched on the Trail of Tears, and it wasn't a goddamn, whatever that cruise line tour thing. I've heard people say, oh, they were paid. Some of them were paid. Let's not say all of them. All of them weren't paid. The ones that accepted the money, they got to go first. The other ones got hauled out. That's why the Army had to come. And the Army tried to come and get my Cherokees. And they came to our Scots-Irish. And the Scots-Irish said, fuck off. And the Army fucked off.
Yeah, but the Cherokees inevitably lost the war.
Yeah. So what?
So
you asked me for the solution.
No.
You asked me for the solution. The solution is you don't quit
with your own semantics.
You're red pilling people, and that's awesome. But people can't have this mindset like this is a 5-year situation.
What?
This is not a 5-year situation.
I agree with that.
To go into the shitter. We allowed other people. We got our 90s little broskies and all their fucking greed is good and all this shit, and we sucked it up like a whore.
So I don't think it's going to be. If you want my opinion, say it, and I appreciate that. At least you're interested in. You know what? I always say a lot of times, it's easy to highlight all the problems in the world. But if you don't offer up ideas for solutions, then I would argue you're not interested in solutions. So I commend you for at least being interested in solutions.
Sure,
but that said,
self-independence.
yeah, if you want my, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as people are more at working as communities again and not trying to separate and allowing other people to fractionalize us.
Yeah.
The majority of people are good people. I've been across this
Agreed.
fucking country 4 or 5 times, and I've never had any problems with anybody but a white biker. Imagine that while I was wearing a fucking leather.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I agree with everything you just said, but I got to challenge it just a little bit. And what I would say, respectably, is I don't think it's that simple. And I think because if there's one thing I've learned in this journey of mine, and it's been a hell of a journey, is that it's nothing is really ever that simple. And AI, for instance, what I just learned today blew my mind about AI. Oh my God. Look into Anthropic. Holy cow. Trump, us receiving Trump at this specific time, guys, I don't know. We would have been screwed. I mean, royally screwed. Anthropic. So, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. This to reply back. I would counter what you said, and that isn't the solution. The French didn't hold on throughout the German, overtaking and fucking their country over and over again with specific stuff. People need to have a general ethos. They need, just going back to where we're not skull fucking each other is progress.
All right.
And we don't allow. So you said, well, these Marxists are coming in. Okay, whoop their ass.
Well, they're trying to get the children. This is why institutions like Turning Point USA has been integral, because that's been the only institution that's been effectively combating the indoctrination of our youth. But I would argue, if you really want to understand the 40,000-foot view of the best, you got to understand all 3 sides of the triangle. What are all 3 sides of the triangle? In my opinion, the way I see it, the power structures, okay, the economy. Who is at the vertices? You got DC, bottom. You got the Vatican. Well, DC is the military. Okay. So why do we police the world? Because we do. They've used us to police the world.
I love you, and I agree. I was teaching my kids that 20 years ago.
Yeah. And then
you're going to red pill me.
And then on the bottom right, you got the Vatican. What do they provide? Societal norms and values, right?
And real estate.
And then you have at the very tippy top, you have the city of London, the way I see it.
The only 3 sovereign places in the world.
That's right. So city of London, that's global economy. They control, manipulate global economy. And you got to include Brussels in on that, somewhere on that.
Sure.
But and so when I have been digging into the city of London, their influence with the IRGC, okay, which, not to be confused with the Iranian military or Iranian army or anything like that, because it's totally separate. Way I see it, it's a proxy army for the city of London to manipulate and to train Hezbollah, Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, all of them.
I'm totally with you. We don't even have the disagreement yet, because these privately funded armies have been causing the fucking trouble since the 1700s.
Yes.
So hit me with some new stuff.
So it's not just about you and I, because again, it's always about those watching. That's my target. That's who I want to affect. That's who I want to help understand the bigger picture more, because that is my solution. And I think that's one of Trump's solutions too, is more education. Give them enough rope to hang themselves. There's so many groups and subgroups of MAGA, of even the left. At some point, we got to be able to bring everybody together. Now, how can we do that without conducting a 9/11 style event? Because that was the last time I ever saw this country really united.
I agree. I rode across the country from San Diego to New York, and actually was given a direct, walkthrough with the chief of Rescue One, who was falling apart right with us, going, never forget, never forget. So I never forgot. I assure you, my dreams never fucking forgot. And so all I'm saying, Sean, is I'm not fighting your presentation of these things so far, but but it's also like, and what? And we got to make sure that we're watching our six, because the best way to disorganize any kind of movement is from within. Ask the FBI. That's their job.
So can I ask you guys a question about what you're talking about? Because
please.
Yeah. So like, how do you guys feel? Well, two questions. One, how do you think religion plays into what you're saying? Because I don't really disagree with your triangle there. But first of all, second of all, how do you think people like Silicon Valley and the banking system plays into it? I think
control mechanisms.
Well, yeah, but people say it's the Jays or small hats, and I don't know if that's true or not, but there definitely is like a lot of foreign, like Russian, Eastern Europeans controlling Silicon Valley and Palantir and stuff
And
like
remember-
this.
Well, you know, the families that funded both sides of the world wars are not a bad place to start.
It's not a place, but they don't sit at the table. You're right. You're not. I don't think you're wrong, but I don't even see the Rothschilds, for instance, sitting at the table.
Didn't they influence American education after?
Yep, that was the Rockefellers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would argue the Pelosi's and the Newscoms and the
You mean her
Soros-
niece or nephew?
Whatever.
They work for the Gettys, but yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is the Soros, the Pelosi's, the Newscoms, and all of the thing that I would call trash, they are the ones that are sitting at the table.
Useful idiots.
I agree, but I would be remiss not to put that into the mix, Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not be hesitant to say the Bezos have some sort of influence or affluence because of the almighty dollar and the banking system that is run by.
I'm more
They have
interested.
a small influence, though.
Yeah, I agree.
They have a small influence. They won't have a big influence on them.
Yeah, I agree. An influence, but I would argue a small one. The shadow banking is really where the
yeah, and we could also probably throw the almighty crypto dollar, if you will, into a lot of influence or in affluential people.
I would argue that is being used to track all the bad actors because, by
Or
the way,
destabilize, or it could be to destabilize the global reserve currency.
look, if Trump wasn't having an effect, if he wasn't being successful, do you think they would be trying to take his life?
Well, I mean, I would be remiss to say that possibly some of the assassination attempts could be a direct contributor to the
Look at all the presidents that have been assassinated and everything that they tried to accomplish.
And Sean, that's where I was going with it. Was we had JFK, what I would consider some sort of influence on today's political ideology, if you will. I would be remiss not to say it could probably go back further than JFK.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, a lot of policy that I have seen, and I could be absolutely wrong, and Sean or somebody tell me if I'm wrong, please, is a basis of policy that was tried or was put into legislature that was denied, or what's the college educated word? Debunked, maybe, right?
Discredited,
or discredited. Yes, thank you, Sean.
Would you guys say that the Catholics are at the top of the pyramid, or
Nope.
No.
I would say the Catholics are a threat. I didn't used to think this, by the way. This is a newly developed hypothesis because I learned that Barry Soetoro, cough cough, Obama needed the Catholic vote in order to become president. Now they steal elections. I get it. Okay. But you still needed to sell it policy to 20%, at least 20% of the Catholics. What does that mean? That means you needed 20% of the principled vote. What is the principle? If you recall, Obama, before he ran for president, was against abortion, was against gay marriages. Why? Because he had to sell it to the Catholics, right? The Vatican, which I did see, the Vatican, I do think that was, they attempted to infiltrate it at one point, and I think we got it back. I think. I'm willing to be wrong about that. Of course.
Yeah.
I would say affluentially.
But well, just really quick, the Catholics wrote like the New Deal though. Like I would argue that since the time of Lincoln, the Catholics were trying to take over the United States, and so has the British. So like basically
the British
and the Catholics have been trying to F America over since the beginning, pretty much. As far as
I think they tried to infiltrate the British. Okay, so we're talking all three sides of the triangle, right? You just mentioned it: British, Vatican, and then America. They wanted to ultimately take America, which I would argue we haven't been living under our Constitution our entire lives and longer, at least 100 years. I go back to the late 1800s, 1870s ish. And
I think I would go a little further, more in reverse than that.
Well, just for argument's sake,
Sure.
and if you get into law, real law, the concept of law, what it really means, what real law is, not policy, not rules and codes, not all that nonsense. When you understand that concept, the basic tenets of law, then you realize real quick that we don't live in any semblance of law. Everything is all contract based now. Everything, which is maritime.
So who do you think is setting up? So you're saying that like most of the Islam T-word people are kind of like set up by the city of London.
Yeah.
And but who's writing all the laws to bring endless immigration into the West? Like, is it white people or Christians?
It ain't just the West.
Catholics,
Well,
or?
yeah. Well, they're doing it to the EU, Europe. Look, they're allowing it to happen there. And look, Ireland's even being taken over. It's incredible. There are more foreign-born politicians in Ireland than there are actual Irish. That's not an accident.
But if it's the British doing it, why are they doing it to their own place?
It's a globalist policy. I think you would have to go back to the Agenda 20. What was it? Agenda 20. I don't even remember what it was called. But who was the woman?
The reconciliation to stop the troubles.
No, there was Agenda 2030, maybe 20.
Well,
you're right.
Yeah,
it was Agenda 2030, Sean.
Yeah. There was a woman.
Depopulation.
There was a woman who was in California. I think she worked for the state government, California government. And she was a whistleblower that really talked about this agenda. And she started laying out exactly all the methods with which you're achieving all of this and being successful at the time. I think she passed away. She really platinum blonde hair, if I remember correctly, and it had a funny name. But there's so many other ways you can just listen to them themselves say it. Go back during COVID, and you can hear them all talk about it, right? They were wanted to use immigration for multiple purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Same with COVID was multiple purposes. Wasn't just one, depopulation. It was also a transfer of wealth, massive transfer of wealth. And not to mention data mining, massive data mining. And like I said, look into Anthropic, you will be shocked. All our military missile-guided target systems, all using Anthropic AI systems for targeting.
What do you think about Palantir and their kind of role?
Which is Palantir is the backbone to Anthropic. So now I say this to you. Do you guys remember the bombing of that little school?
Yeah. Where did we get the coordinates?
The day before that is when we purged the military of all those generals. And they were pissed. And Anthropic won't give certain uses to Hegseth. What I think that was a shot across the bow that was getting back at them for purging the military of the deep state bad actors, the entrenched and fortified.
Well, Howard over on YouTube says they use legislation to cover their ass. That way, they are above laws and policy. Sean, your thoughts, sir?
They use more than that. They spread this out. I have a slide on this that me and Feisty did earlier today on Feisty Digs. If anybody was interested in that
slide up, Sean, you can. It's fine. If you have it handy.
Yeah, I can look for it. It's so they use AI models for this, and they spread this out globally. They use all sorts of networks for this, NGOs, administrative state, but they spread this out into Europe, Africa, even China, and so many other countries. The reason they do this is for plausible deniability.
Decentralization as well.
Yes. This is what prevents it from. Look at Fauci. Dude's got. Well, I think he thought he got away with it, but we're seeing indicators that all of that whole ship is coming down. Look at the SPLC just being indicted. Look at Fauci's little right-hand man being indicted. Look at Comey. Why are we just getting those three? Wow, I think we're going to see some singing. I think they're going to sing like canaries, all of them, all those three of them.
Well, the fourth wise man says. The fourth wise man says that is the playbook 101 in politics.
What is plausible deniability?
Well,
plausible deniability.
It was about when they were using legislation to cover as well.
Well, let's talk about legislation for a second. And I know Chris or Sean's going to laugh. Let's go back to the old Biden term of I need legislation to close the border. I need legislation to do every fucking thing. And then let's fast forward what a year, and the first one of the first executive orders, the border was fucking closed. Why in my purview, why does one administration or regime need a fucking piece of document?
They don't. They needed to convince everybody. They needed to convince everybody that they needed that, when really they needed everybody to be dumb. They need us to be stupid and to outsource our thinking.
Well, well, my next statement will go exactly along with that.
Tribalistic.
That's what I was just going to say. Tribalistic.
Yep, they need us to do groupthink. But all right, if we're thinking independently, and well, how can we unite if we're also encouraging people to think for themselves and come to their own conclusions? Because as long as you want the same outcome, as long as you want a brighter future for your kids, you don't want to, I don't know, surrender to communism, right? To some elite class that sits up on an ivory tower in friggin' Brussels or whatever the fuck. Then you're on the same team as me. That's the way I look at it, right?
Well, I'm going to go back to a statement.
That's why me and Salty Santa are always going to see eye to eye. Always. Doesn't
Sure.
matter.
Well, let me go back to a statement you said earlier. We are in these times, we are about contractual obligations. So legislation, or my previous statement, why do we need legislation? It's all about documentation. But do you really need a contract or a handshake to do a job? I know I'm ping-ponging a minute, but
well, we've been
why do I
conditioned
need a document to close the border? Why do I need a document to?
You don't.
Can I jump on that one, Sean?
Yeah, please.
We don't. It's
Right.
already laid out in the Constitution what the borders are, who's to maintain them. Boom.
Right, but why is the highest power in the land, if you will,
Sure.
Just arbitrarily saying, "Oh, well, I want 3 million foreign invaders just to walk into my fucking country, and other than for votes," and I will go down that rabbit hole in a second.
Sure.
And we're going to give these motherfuckers everything. Me being disabled in a wheelchair, hobbling around, not able to get any type of assistance, but I can have somebody come into my country from mental institutions, from the Trump rhetoric, and I have to say rhetoric because it's what he said. From mental institutions, from prisons, and we're going to hand these motherfuckers everything in the world.
And what's the constitutional remedy?
Close the fucking border. There's one of the constitutional